see everyone's still with us. I see the chat's still very cold at the minute, so hopefully we're just getting warmed up ready for the second half. But yeah, certainly any questions, feel free to add much there. So yeah, so on to my section, operating the lab. And, yeah, just to recap, my name is Paul Leach. I'm the Solution Sales Specialist for Thermo Fisher Scientific. And it's my role to help our customers utilize and implement our e-business solutions to drive more efficient supply chain solutions. So my aim for today is to talk about what are the operational challenges companies commonly experience and what solutions are out there to help you overcome those issues and concerns you might have. This will consist of considerations as well as inventory management solutions. And we've got another poll for you, so Jen, if you could be so kind and knock that poll up for us. That's question number 4. Which of the business terminology have you heard of before? And again, so a multiple choice, so feel free to select more than one. And I want to see a 12 out of 12 response, please, so no pressure. Okay, so we're doing well. None of these sound familiar. Excellent. What we'd like to hear. Web shop punch out, okay. That's great. 8 out of 12, 9 out of 12. Are we going to be able to get 12 out of 12? More seconds, and just keep drinking that coffee and reading. Okay, no, that's great. So we can see that there's a distinct mix between knowing nothing and knowing a little bit. So certainly thank you for that. So just helps us broaden our education as to what our customers require and indeed what our customers are looking to gain from this as well. Which is good. So what's important that as your business grows, it's important to ensure that you have the foundations in place to be able to cater for the increase in demand you'll have on your own internal processes and employees. It's very easy to have a mindset of we've always done it this way. So does that mean things can't be improved for the better? Your most valuable asset as your company grows are your people within the lab. However, do you want the same people who are running the lab to also be responsible for needing to place orders? Balancing resource and responsibilities is a very difficult act. It's about looking to work smarter within your company. That's why it's paramount to understand potential risks within your current processes. For example, what happens if Dave, the lab manager, leaves? Dave is the only person who knows how to process orders. Similarly, how would we cope if Sarah left her finance job? She's the only one that can process invoices. Understanding these pain points helps you understand and identify what processes your company require. So you've decided to explore the world of e-business and how it can benefit your company. And rightly, you've created a scoping document. Whilst this is certainly a worthwhile exercise, you find this soon raises additional challenges you didn't even know existed yet. For example, ease of use. Will your current, more importantly, will your new employees be able to get up to speed on how your new platform looks and operates? Required resource. We need to hire expensive specialists to help set up integration elements, product database, account setup, training of your end users. Timelines. In many instances, timelines to implement ERPs can take months, if not years. EDI integration projects can take weeks to set up and configure. But what happens if you need a solution then? Future-proofing. How do you ensure that any solution you put in place now will be the same solution you need in 18 months' time? Do you have the flexibility within your setup to be agile as and when your requirements change? So what are the typical options? Manual orders. Absolutely, this is an option. But what we understand from feedback from our customers is this typically creates more issues. For example, orders being placed for suppliers you aren't aware of. Placing orders for items that are out of stock. Invoices go missing in the post. People's emails aren't monitored when they're either on holiday or on sick. So it's an option, but with many disadvantages. Web shops. Utilizing your supplier's web shop interface is a great way to obtain many end-user benefits and company processes. Net prices and stock availability are easily visible and shown in real time. Order status can be easily accessed and monitored. Ability to consolidate your supplier tail as you have visibility through the web shop with items you didn't know your supplier could provide. Punch Out. Punch Out provides all the same benefits as Webshop. However, this is embedded into your company's ERP. This allows seamless integration with your supplier's Punch Out interface to allow your end users to remove the need for any duplication of orders. EDI. Looking to integrate and automate a range of transaction types such as orders, order acknowledgements, ASNs, and invoices between your ERP and your supplier's ERP. We all like a number, something we can reference, something we can comprehend or understand. 81%. 81% of companies are still using a form of manual-based processes. 81%. Just try to relate that to our own personal lives and how we order things at home. I mean, who sent an email order to Amazon before? £14, £8.50. If you switch from manual processing to a new business solution, you can save £14 per order and £8.50 per invoice. But where do these numbers come from? GS1 are a non-for-profit organisation based here in the UK who created a white paper detailing the return on investments customers would benefit from when implementing a new business solution. It's important to note that EDI transactions drive efficiency and cost savings, largely through a reduction in disputes caused by inconsistent data. It's fundamental to understand and recognise that data is the key in all P2P elements. If the data is incorrect, then the whole automated process becomes challenging and rather manual. Further benefits such as reduced administration and faster moving inventory increase the need for less compliance checks. Similarly, electronic invoicing increases reconciliation speed by reducing data entry time and dispute resolution requirements. Even today, we have some customers still sending us fax orders. So the key main benefits to implementing business: reduces cost, reduces the cost of processing transactions by removing human touch points, improves efficiency by automating processes and negating the need for human touch points. Instead, you have direct system-to-system integration. Increases accuracy by ensuring we're using up-to-date and accurate data, provides the most accurate P2P validation rules. Speeds delivery. E-business orders take seconds to be processed. When you factor this element into ordering time cutoffs, this is the difference between next day deliveries or not. And lastly, another factor that is very much aligned with our company mission goal of making the world a healthier, cleaner, and safer place is to reduce our CO2 footprint. Anywhere where we can remove a paper-based trail helps us reduce our CO2 footprint, and e-business certainly helps us achieve that. The P2P process is often perceived as a complex beast. However, it's far simpler than that. P2P can be broken down into three key elements. Shop. Finding your products in the most efficient manner. Not only finding them, but ensuring that the items have good quality images and enriched data behind that product. Order. Ensuring your orders are sent in the most efficient way and removing the need for manual touchpoints. Invoice. Ensuring your invoices are received in the most efficient way, and again, looking to remove the need for manual touchpoints. Our aim here is to work on the 2 to 3% of exceptions, opposed to 100% of all transactions based on a manual process. Having worked within the e-business sector for nearly 20 years, I understand it's hard to visualize how an e-business solution operates, as a number of the processes happen in the background, unbeknown to you or your end users. However, I've tried to display and visualize how each solution processes documents and the key steps taken. We start with the manual process. So we've already touched on something that should be used as a last resort. That need and dependency to have individuals manually processing documents is tough, especially when resources can be so difficult to obtain. Webshop, using your supplier's web interface to be able to process your orders and enhance your end user's experience. We're finally then moving into a level of integration and use of punch out, and finally direct EDI and full integration. Humans are good, but sometimes we have off days. When manually processing documents, it's easy for humans to get thinking. Is it an A? Is it an I? Those things can happen when we have human touch points involved during the P2P process. Our website is specifically designed to enable our customers to self-serve their needs. We understand time is precious, and thus customers don't want to be chasing account managers, customer service team, or quote team for updates. Users want to be able to self-serve their own needs when they have the time. You can see additional benefits of your end users gain utilizing Thermo Fisher's workshop on the screen. Whilst both Fisher Scientific and Thermo Fisher share much of the same web functionality, each website does itself provide more niche functions, such as Fisher Science's ability to support P-card transactions, whereas Thermo Fisher provides guided search tools. As we have already discovered so far, the webshop can be used to provide instant access to your net prices and stock availability. Order status of orders is available at the click of a button and also provides the functionality to process quotes online. Thermo Fisher's webshop offerings lead in the way in providing our customers with the most intuitive end-user experience available. As your business and volumes grow, it's important to look into the world of EDI integration through both punch-out and direct EDI solutions. These both work on the basis of data integration between customer and supplier, allowing for data to be sent electronically between the two parties and thus ensuring a fully automated e-business solution. We talked earlier about solution scalability, and it's important to note that our solutions can evolve just as fluidly as yours. In summary, starting your e-business journey can be daunting, but it's important to note that Thermo Fisher have the solution to meet your requirements. It's important to understand that all our e-business solutions are designed with our customers' needs and requirements at the center of the solution. All our solutions are bespoke to our customers and are not off-the-shelf products, limited by what they can do and not what our customers require them to do. For us, we understand that each customer operates and works in different ways. So a key element is that all our solutions are flexible and agile to our customer requirements. And lastly, further good news, all our e-business solutions are part of Thermo Fisher's value-added proposition, which means you have access to our e-business solutions, our integration team, our development team, our support team, and lastly me, we're all inclusive as part of our value-added proposition. Another element and range of solutions we can provide are inventory management based. Again, this will be dependent on your own needs and requirements as your company grows and scales. When you first move into a new building, you'll be considering the space you have to play with, and thinking about managing the flow of general lab supplies will soon become one of the many things to contemplate. Initially, you may like to do everything yourself. That means setting up an inventory spreadsheet or another tool to help you keep track of what's coming in and what's going out. There are a couple of key things to bear in mind if you're planning on managing this manually. One of the biggest pitfalls is that if you let nature take its course, often the burden of inventory management falls onto one person who might be the most proactive about checking the stocks and orders. To avoid this situation, consider having a shared system for the entire team to collaboratively communicate the current state of inventory. It could be a large whiteboard in a shared area or a shared spreadsheet. Another trick is to consider having a designated area where the lab stocks are located instead of spread across different people's branches. This way, one can quickly visualize what's running low and take immediate action. Another major consideration is how to plan for inventory. There will be some inherent factors like the size of your lab, where you can hold stock, and how much stock you need at any given time. But there are some other factors too. For example, what is your turnaround time of key reagents? What is the supplier's turnaround time for key reagent? That will determine how much you order and in what frequency. There are also external influences like supply chain disruption during a pandemic or expense deadlines by a grant agency that will dynamically change how you do your resource planning. Should you move away from manual inventory management, Thermo Fisher has a few options available that will work with your company at various stages in your journey. First and foremost, it will be important to have some online accounts for your preferred vendors. Some like Thermo Fisher will give you online stock availability information. Other vendors you may have to call their customer care team to find out this information. So always try not to leave any purchases until the last minute, as stock levels can vary drastically with demand. When we look into next year, ULS will have an exciting tool available that will take care of your inventory management from an app or local device. This will free time from keeping on top of outgoing and incoming stuff. Should the consumable needs for your company become almost a full-time job for someone, or you find you're getting regular deliveries from one supplier in particular, you may like to consider an on-site supply centre. On the slide, we can see pictures of different vending machine units from Thermo Fisher Scientific. Some you may have seen in action or a chance to use as they're deployed throughout the country. The last option would be for the flow of goods into your company becomes a full-time job and needs to be managed by an experienced individual. You will have a solution to place an individual or individuals on site to run your stores and take care of the daily operations on your behalf. This is what we refer to generally as vendor managed inventory. I know sustainability is all in our minds lately. This is one of the areas of great interest in Thermo Fisher as well. The greenest way to buy from Thermo Fisher is to order through our on-site supply centres. I know most of you will perhaps start your inventory management journey from using our ULS software and application, but I would like you to have on-site supply centre in sight as you grow to up-level your efficiency in the future. So what are some of the benefits of using on-site supply centres? COVID-19 really highlighted the importance of efficient supply chain management. The supply centre can lessen back orders impacting project deadlines or managing complex project needs with uncertain supply. It's also a great tool to mitigate organisational constraints, such as minimising your time to keep track of project budget and allocation or overcome limited staff to support your research group. Supply centre can also save you money and time. Specifically, it can reduce cost of shipping and handling or wasted product due to redundancy in orders. What about being able to save all the time in the ordering process for small orders or waiting periods of deliveries due to ordering delays? Lastly, supply centres have great environmental benefits, as I discussed earlier. Consolidated shipments reduce packaging waste by 317,500 kilos a year. This amounts to a reduced carbon footprint of over 340 metric tons of CO2 annually, the equivalent of taking 73 cars off the road. Supply centres also make it easy to find all Thermo Fisher's greener product alternatives, which are labelled with a green leaf. I'd like to thank you all for your time and open up to any questions that you may have. And hopefully we'll see some questions coming through. As you say, the chat was early in the second half. I'm sure we've all warmed up now.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. That was really good overview of all the pros and reasons why we should go for electronic systems. But I guess a question is, if there are so few companies going for that, is it because it's probably because of change, and so it's difficult to make? And sometimes a driver for change is the not the threat, but it's just, you know, what they should be worried or concerned about if they don't have an ERP. I mean, what are the risks associated with that, which could be an argument for them to be convinced. So the question is what they should be worried or concerned if they don't have an ERP.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, I appreciate e-business is a very niche sector and a very niche topic. I'm sure, as we saw by the poll, 50% have an understanding of web shop and punch out, and 50% have no idea with regards to the terminology. However, what I would say is, to try and use a metaphor and analogy that we can all understand, is that if you try to build a house, you would certainly build the foundations first opposed to the roof first. Because without good foundations, obviously your roof will just collapse. And it's the same with e-business and procurement and ERPs. So certainly, as I say, you will get to that tipping point with regards to scalability. And it's at that point there when you have to look and question about your internal processes. And again, it goes back, just because you've always done it that way doesn't mean it's the most efficient way. And certainly through Thermo Fisher, we have specialists such as myself who will certainly be more than willing to help and advise any questions or suggestions that our customers may have. So certainly, if you feel as if the pressure of processing orders and invoices is becoming too much, you can certainly reach out to your suppliers, or indeed myself, and certainly we'll be here to help and advise on how we can best work with you.
Thanks. So again, it's really future-proofing the business operation, which I think is a very, very important point. I have a slightly more technical, precise question. So if company finding themselves ordering the same item on a regular basis, is there a more efficient way to reorder, find this product, to make it order?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's certainly a bugbear that we hear from customers of ours, certainly using other supplier web shops. Okay, because as you say, we typically find ourselves ordering the same 10, 20, 30 consumables on a fairly regular basis. So what we did through Thermo Fisher is that we designed our website to create what's known as a My List. Okay? And certainly a My List is the ability for a user to set up a shortlist of their favorite items. So instead of having to search for the same items over and over again, adding into your basket, through Thermo Fisher, you can set up a My List. You can jump straight to that My List. That will then return all your search results of your favorite items. Not only that, it will provide you that real-time stock availability. So again, what we're trying to do there is we're trying to make that end-to-end process much more user intuitive, okay, for our customers. So instead of having to search for that item, you can go straight to your My List, you can check the stock availability, you can add it to your basket, and you can check it.
So have you a my favorites function in the e-shop, which
Absolutely,
again is simplifying their life. No, that sounds really good. So if nothing else coming up from the audience, I have a last question that I'm hearing sometimes from companies actually. So for those who are getting into the e-business solutions, and there are some, question is relating to this scaling up element is how do we know when we're ready to increase our e-business solution into something that's more integrated and automated? So to go to the next level, what would be the trigger for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's probably looking at the stress levels of your procurement team at the minute, how much hair they're currently pulling out. But similarly, all joking aside, we go back to the analogy of putting those foundations in first and foremost. So certainly, I think if you are already thinking about, is it too late? The answer is it probably is. So certainly trying to have those conversations and discussions. And if nothing else, hopefully this quick presentation has given you some ideas as to what's out there. Because again, a number of customers that I've dealt with personally, they only know what they know. And again, they've always done things in a certain way. They've always placed orders manually. But certainly when they look to move into an integrated solution, they realize how much time was wasted by manually processing documents. And certainly, if you have other customers out there, I would feel free to ask them, actually, what solutions do you have with regards to procurement? Certainly, any customer that moves from a manual-based process over to an automated process will certainly see immediate benefits by doing so. So, to paraphrase, certainly if you are looking at it and you're looking to scale your business, now is certainly the time to have those conversations.
Thank you, Paul. And yes, really good advice. So when is the right time is assessing stress level of staff rather than waiting until it's too late. So definitely keep that one as an answer.